Hey, look at these couples. Can you spot anything weird here? Seems like the only real wife is the one on the right. She looks grumpy, but she is authentically human. Meanwhile, the lady on the left must be a robot. Just look at her legs. A local bank's money was stolen right in the middle of the day. But no one noticed that. Several days later, the room where the money used to be stored was found completely empty. There was just one note saying 7718. The police arrested 3 suspects, Bill, Jeff, and Cody. But the officers didn't know which of them was guilty. They invited a famous detective to crack the mysterious case, and the detective managed to decipher the note immediately. Can you do it too? So, turn the paper upside down. This way, the numbers turn into a name, Bill. The man wants to enter an exclusive club, but he doesn't know the password. Another man walks up to the entrance. The doorman says 12, and the man says 6, and is allowed to enter. Another man approaches. The doorman says 6, the man says 3, and the doorman lets him in. Thinking he's heard enough, our guy walks to the door. When the doorman says 10, he says 5, but he isn't allowed to enter. What should he have said? Three. The correct answer is the number of letters in the word the doorman says. Martin was a robber. One day he was trying to escape from the police after robbing a bank. He had 3 gold bars in his arms, each weighing 20 pounds. Ooh. The only way to get away was to cross a bridge, which could only support 220 pounds. The 3 bars of gold weigh 60 pounds, and Martin weighed 180 pounds. Could he cross the bridge without getting rid of any of the bars? Now, Martin can't leave a bar of gold and come pick it up later, so the only solution is to make those bars fly. To make it happen, Martin must juggle them. This way, only 2 bars will add extra weight to the bridge, while the third one will always remain airborne. Voila! 180 plus 20 plus 20 equals 220, so the bridge can totally handle it. However, Martin couldn't handle it because he couldn't juggle, and the police got their man. A thief entered a high-end boutique and forced the shop assistant to open the safe. The shop assistant said, "The code for the safe is different every day, and if you harm me, you'll never get the code." But the thief managed to guess the code on his own. How did he do it? The thief was smart. The code to the safe was the word "different," just as the shop assistant said. A wealthy businessman, Mr. Ben Swift, was taken away and locked up in a dark room. His phone had almost no charge. He could only send one message. He knew that someone could be spying on his phone, so he decided to send a message with a code to a high school friend, John Smith, who had a detective agency. He remembered that in high school, they would cipher messages to each other, replacing each letter with the one to the left. So he sent this. Can you guess what it means? It's not gibberish. Once you decipher it, the message reads accountant, so it seems his accountant is to blame. You're wandering through the jungle when, all of a sudden, you see a magnificent ancient castle. You enter it and see its inhabitants. It's kind of hard to say if they're friendly or not, but hey, look, they've just fetched you some snacks. Still, you can tell from their grins that these snacks might be a trap for you. You can't say no to them and need to choose something to eat. There are 4 muffins in front of you. They all look yummy and your mouth is watering. One of the inhabitants, who seems to be the leader, tells you that the first muffin has some fermented cabbage inside. The second is swarming with live ants. The third has mud instead of chocolate cream. And the fourth one has ackee fruit inside. So, which dessert should you opt for? A muffin with fermented cabbage may sound weird, but it's safe to eat. You've tried fermented cabbage, aka kimchi, before and you loved it. For those who love unusual stuff, the fourth muffin is okay too. Ackee fruit is delicious when cooked properly. As for the ants and mud muffins, I'd pass. Lucy is a nail technician. Her services are free to anyone who wants to set up an appointment. However, most people still end up paying her. How so? Lucy only does one hand for free, so most people who come end up paying the full price. They don't want to look weird with their nails done only on one hand. Poor Kathy lived with a stepmother and 3 wicked stepsisters. Her dream was to go to a lit party, which she had been waiting for a year. Her stepmother, Eveline, never let Kathy go anywhere. But this time, Eveline decided to let Kathy go as soon as she had finished with all her tasks. The stepmother asked Kathy to bring her some water, but she gave her a colander to carry the water. How can Kathy bring the water if she has nothing but a colander? Kathy needs to freeze some water and put it in the colander. It'll take some time to melt. When Eveline gets that colander full of ice, technically, it'll be full of water. Jeremy got lost while driving, so he found the nearest town and decided to spend the night in a hotel. After checking in, he went to the restaurant. Suddenly, the lights went off and everyone fell asleep. The next morning, Jeremy had a terrible headache and he couldn't remember anything. Look at these 2 photos. They were taken before and after the lights went out. Can you guess what happened? Look, there are some balloons in the first photo, but none in the second one. They must have been filled with sleeping gas. Someone wanted everyone to sleep. Jenny went grocery shopping and bought a lot of milk, yogurt, meat, and cheese. When she came back home, she realized that she had nowhere to store all these products as her fridge was already full. How can she save all the food she bought? Jenny needs to revise the stuff in her fridge. Look, there's a pack of rice, some chips, and even cookies. These products don't need to be stored in the fridge. Once she takes them out of the fridge, she'll have enough space to store the dairy products and meat she bought. Twiggy's got her 2 piggies. Alex grooves with his 2 wolves. And Tony has a pony. They're all on the shore of a vast and dangerous river. They need to get across, and there's only one small raft nearby. But it's not as simple as it might seem. There are 5 rules the guys need to follow. Rule number 1, the raft can only carry 2 of them. Number 2, only humans can row. Number 3, the piggies can't ride with Alex unless Twiggy is around. Number 4, the wolves can't ride with Twiggy without Alex. And finally, number 5, the pony can only ride with Tony. How can they all get across? First, they need Tony on board. He needs to take one of the wolves across the river. The rules don't prohibit it. When he comes back, Alex takes the second wolf across the river. Then Alex goes back alone. Twiggy joins him and they go to the other bank, where Twiggy leaves Alex and goes back alone. She gives the raft to Tony and his pony, and they go to the other bank. When they reach it, Alex takes the raft and goes back to pick up Twiggy. He picks her up, they go back, and Twiggy leaves Alex there. After that, she goes back to pick up her pigs one by one. Finally, I thought this was never going to end. Hey. A mysterious, daring thief committed a series of bank robberies in the city. The criminal is acting with a unique style. He leaves enigmatic pictures with two symbols at each crime scene. Detectives are confused. But thankfully, a police dog helps them track traces and leads them to an old house in a creepy neighborhood. The detectives find 3 suspects, but each of them has a strong alibi. Mr. Wildrose says, "I was busy celebrating my birthday with friends." Mr. Showberry says, "I was visiting a nighttime art exhibition, but unfortunately it wasn't allowed to take pictures inside." And Mr. Greenman says, "I had to stay home because I was sick. My mother was taking care of me, so she can verify my words." Can you spot the thief? Do you remember the picture of the crime scene? It shows a snowflake and a berry. This hint points to Mr. Snowberry. The detectives arrest Mr. Snowberry, but he finds a way to escape from his cell. The policemen are chasing him around a 2-story jail building. Mr. Snowberry hides on the roof and decides to jump off it. Can you guess why he decided to jump instead of climbing this tree? If he climbs the tree, he'll disturb these birds. They'll fly away, and the police will notice him. Mr. Snowberry jumps and blacks out. After a while, he wakes up and finds himself locked in a small room. Mr. Snowberry looks around and finds a door. He tries to open it, but it's locked. He notices 3 buttons on the door. There's a circle on the first button, a triangle on the second one, and a square on the third button. He doesn't know which one he should press to unlock the door. Luckily, he finds a note with 3 numbers, 12, 4, and 8. Can you guess which button he should choose? There's a clock right above the door, and it's here for a reason. If we draw lines connecting 12, 4, and 8, we'll get a triangle. So he should press the triangle button. Mr. Snowberry manages to escape. He's starving and makes a stop at a restaurant. The waiter brings 2 trays of food. There are 3 differences between these meals. Can you spot them? Ready to see the correct answer? Here they are.
Yes!
The policemen spot Mr. Snowberry at the restaurant. They begin to chase the criminal, and he hides in this street. Can you help them find Mr. Snowberry? He's over here.
Oh.
Finally, Mr. Snowberry ends up in jail, but the city is shocked by another crime that happened in a historical museum. Someone stole an ancient emerald statue during an exhibition. This artifact is expensive and very rare. So the detective starts his investigation immediately. He finds 3 suspects who were standing close to the crime scene. But each of them denies any involvement in the theft. Jeff says, "I was recently released from prison. I'd like to recover my reputation, so I avoid any trouble with the law." Peter, who claims to be a writer, says, "I would never risk my reputation for the sake of some stupid statue." And Frank says, "Sir, I'm a billionaire. I have enough money to buy this entire museum." Who is lying? Frank. He said he's a billionaire. Why would he wear a fake brand? Molly's kitten is missing. She's looking for her pet in the park and comes across these three strangers. One of them stole her kitten. Can you guess who? The first lady is just holding a bag with a toy cat. The second lady is pregnant. But the third guy is hiding a real kitten under his clothes. A weird incident happened at Mr. Green's hotel. All the fish disappeared from the aquarium. It's late, so Mr. Green suspects only 4 employees. Bobby, the porter, says, "I spent the whole day carrying guest bags, so I simply didn't have time for any thefts." The cleaner, Amy, says, "When I arrived at work, the aquarium was already empty." The waiter, Harry, says, "I was working all day, so I didn't walk near the aquarium." Meanwhile, Mary, the manager, says, "I don't like fish at all. I prefer dogs." After hearing their stories, Mr. Green knows for sure who stole the fish. What about you? Take a look at the puddle on the floor. Seems like Harry has recently gotten soaked, probably because he was trying to catch the fish from the aquarium. Oh no! Lauren checks into Mr. Green's hotel. In the lobby, she meets 3 porters who offer to take care of her luggage, but only one of them is trustworthy. Can you guess who? The first porter wears 2 watches, one on his left hand and one on his right. The left watch is too big, so it's probably stolen.
Really?
It's not safe to trust your luggage to a thief. And the third porter is a ghost. His feet don't touch the ground. Therefore, Lauren should trust the second guy. Me? I just get out of that hotel. Anyway, Lauren goes to the local nightclub. Kyle, Tom, and Nick invite her to dance. But only one of them is safe to dance with. What's your guess? Tom wears a leather jacket with sharp spikes.
Oh.
He can accidentally scratch Lauren while dancing. Take a look at Kyle's feet. It looks like he's about to turn into a werewolf.
Oh my god.
Lauren returns to the hotel and finds out that someone stole her favorite necklace from her room.
Oh god.
She runs to the lobby and faces 4 people: a manager, a janitor, a guest, and a porter. She asks, "Who stole my necklace?" But everyone swears to have nothing to do with the robbery. Can you help Lauren find the thief? It's the manager. She hid Lauren's necklace in her glass of water.
What?
The next morning, Lauren is having breakfast in the garden. Suddenly, somebody pulls a paint bucket prank on her. Take a look at the hotel guests. Can you figure out who did it? It was definitely the first guy. There are paint stains on his pants, and the color matches the prank paint perfectly. In the garden, Lauren finds something very curious. It's not alive, but it has 5 fingers. What is it? A glove. Mr. Green enters his office and finds a pleasant surprise on his desk. Someone brought a huge box of his favorite chocolates.
Yes.
Mr. Green questions his employees, but everyone swears to have nothing to do with the gift. The cleaning lady, Glenda, says, "Sir, I haven't entered your office room yet. I was too busy cleaning the bathrooms." The hostess, Holly, said, "I entered your room 2 hours ago to bring some documents. I didn't notice any chocolates." And the manager, Kara, said, "Wow, I had no idea you like chocolates. I started my shift 30 minutes ago, and I didn't leave the lobby." Who's the secret admirer? Can you guess? According to Kara, she didn't enter Mr. Green's office, but she dropped one of her hairpins on the floor. Mr. Green invites Kara for lunch at the local buffet. There are 4 meals that they can enjoy: pizza, pasta, salad, and sushi. However, some of these meals are not safe. Can you figure out which ones? This pasta contains shoelaces, so it's not safe to eat. And there's a bee sitting on the sushi. It can sting, so this option isn't safe either. Lauren goes for a walk in the forest. Suddenly, she sees a weird cave with mysterious lights.
Oh my God.
She enters the cave and gets teleported to a parallel universe. Can you help her spot the difference between this reality and the normal world? This lady is wearing shoes on her hands. Well, that's weird. Lauren meets a wizard who promises to send her home. But first, she has to crack his riddle. Spelled forwards, I'm what you do every day. Spelled backward, I'm something you hate. What am I? If we spelled live backwards, we'll get evil. So the correct answer is live. Harry and Larry are twins. They were born in May, but their birthday is in June. How is this possible? Well, it's possible because May is a town. Gotcha.
Hey, I'll be showing you mobile app logos, and your task is to guess them. Remember to keep your score. First, I'll show you 2. One is real, and one is fake. You have to find the real one. Let's start easy. Where's the real Facebook logo? It's this one right here. What about Twitter now? It's the one on the right. Next up, Instagram. What's your call? Here it is. Where is the one and only App Store? This one, of course. Slack's turn now. Where's the one? It's the left one. What about Tinder? Do you know its logo? That's the one. Play Store. What is the correct color arrangement? Here it is. Now the famous TikTok. Do you see the correct one? This one. Snapchat's turn. Find it. Pick the left one. Now the correct logo for Safari? Here's the right one. What about Zoom? Where's the correct logo? Right here. Pinterest. Can you find it? This is the one. A bit hard to figure out, but I believe in you. You've seen it way too many times. Google Maps. Here it is. Any thoughts on eBay? This one, of course. Quite easy. Shazam. What do you think? What's the right logo? It's the left one. Next up, Likey. What do you say? Yeah, this one. Now try to find the correct Skype logo. Now that's the one. Where's the logo of Google Calendar? Here's the original. Do you see the correct Cash App logo? Pick the left one. What about Wish? Where is the correct logo? Here's the right one. Find the one of WeChat. It's the one on the right. Another one for you, Periscope. Which one? Here it is. Will you find the right logo for Google Drive? This one, did you get it? Next up, another easy one is Spotify. It's your choice. It's the left one. Now pick the correct Apple Wallet logo. That's the one. Any thoughts on WhatsApp? This one, of course, it was way too easy. What do you think about Facebook Messenger here? Here it is. Another easy one for you, Viber. Hit it. This one. A bit harder now. Google Lens. What do you pick? It's the one on the left. What about Amazon? This one. Can you find the correct hieroglyph from Google Translate's logo? It's this one. What about iMovie? Here it is. iTunes? You know it well. So what's your choice? It's the one on the right. Another one for you. Do you remember the correct color of the Etsy logo? This one right here. Okay, the last one for this task is Google Photos. It's this one. Let's change the task a bit. No right and wrong. I'll show you a logo and you have to remember which app it is. Let's start way too easy again and with this paper airplane. Hit it. Telegram, of course. Any ideas here? That's Reddit. Okay, what about this one? Discord. Let's make it a bit more complicated. This one. That's Venmo. Did you get it right? What do you think here? Signal, another messenger. What is this app? It's Microsoft Teams. What do you say here? Airbnb. What do these two letters stand for? That's LinkedIn. It's getting harder, but you must know this one well. What is it? Google Authenticator. Do you think you know this logo? That's Uber. Did you recognize it? What is this green owl? Duolingo. It's an app where you can learn languages. Another one for you. What are your thoughts? Twitch. It's a streaming app. Do you know this one? PixArt, a photo and video editor. Do you think you know this logo? Easy, SoundCloud. What's your call on this logo? If you said GroupMe, then you're absolutely correct. Okay, let's keep going. This one might be hard to recognize though. What do you think? That's Bumble. What about this one? Procreate. Another one for you to recognize. Flickr, of course. This one's easy. What do you say? It's Dropbox. Something more old-schooly for you. What do you say? It's Vine. Do you remember this app? Tumblr. Did you have your little dog? What's your guess here? Who is this owl? TripAdvisor. Another easy one. You're lucky today. What do you say? OneDrive. What do you say here? This is Badoo. Little tip, that's an app for organizing and productivity. Notion, do you use it? What is your best guess here? Forest, another productivity app that helps you focus. What's the G stand for? That's Goodreads. An oldie but a goodie. It's like an age test. MySpace. If you guessed it, you're at least a millennial. Think carefully. Can you drag this one out of your memory? It's Booking.com. What is it, in your opinion? Vimeo. Moving on. Do you remember this one? Quite well known. Amazon Kindle, of course. What do you think this is? CapCut. What is this elephant app? Evernote. What about this one? That's TimeHop. Do you recognize this sphere? Google Earth. I know it can be hard, but any ideas here? Libby by Overdrive. It's an app that gives you access to books from your local library. The game is getting harder. What do you think this is? Bigo Live. What about this app? It's Hootsuite. What about this little cutie? It's Waze. It's the last one for you. What is it? It's Busuu. So, what's your score? Let me know in the comments.
Hey, let's see how attentive you are. Now, you see these logos every day, but can you tell which one is correct? Let's start with Pringles. Which one do you choose? The correct logo is on the right. The original Pringles guy doesn't have a mouth, he only has a mustache. So how does he eat them? What about a Tesla logo? The correct one is on the left. Coca-Cola. What do you think? Right, that's an extra detail. The left logo is correct. Look at these two Sprite logos very closely. What's your choice? The left one, of course. And what about Pepsi? The correct color combination is on the left. You know the TikTok logo, don't you? There we go. The blue outline is at the top, while the red one at the bottom. Are you into online shopping? Duh! Can you spot the suitable eBay logo? The correct color sequence is red, blue, yellow, and green. What about AliExpress? Orange and red? Or maybe red and orange? Ah, this one. You probably recognize the Amazon logo. That's an extra detail. The left logo is correct. Look at these two Etsy logos. Which one is fake? The space between letters is too large in the left logo, and the right one is OK. What about everyone's favorite Netflix? These two seem identical, but they're not. The correct font is over here. Can you recognize the Crayola logo? Here it is. Let's move on and check your knowledge of clothing brands. Can you spot the correct Tommy Hilfiger logo? It's on the left, white and red. What about Lacoste? The crocodiles are identical, but the correct font is over here. Zara. What's your choice, right or left? The right one is correct. What about Gap? The correct one is on the left. American Eagle Outfitters. Which way does the eagle look? To the left, of course. What about Forever 21? What's your choice? The right logo is correct. Can you recognize Coach? Of course you can. It's this one. You probably recognize the correct H&M logo. Here it is. And what about Puma? Which wildcat silhouette is correct? This one. Which one of these Banana Republic logos truly exists? There it is. Now let's move on to guess. What's your guess? The left one? Yep. The distance between the letters is way too large in the right logo. What can you say about Tom Ford, left or right? Ah, this one. Can you recognize Hermes? It's this one. What about Kappa? The silhouettes of two people shouldn't be identical. That's why the original logo is on the right. Let's take a look at these two Converse logos. What's your choice? The left logo is correct. Converse Star has 5 points. What about Uniqlo? Yep, the left one is correct. This one is very easy, isn't it? Walmart logo has 6 rays, not 5. Can you recognize Crocs logo? This one, of course. No mistake can be made when it comes to Target, right? The correct proportions of circles are here. Next one is New Balance. The right one is true. And now, let's take a look at North Face. Any ideas? The correct logo should have 3 arcs. Let's move on and check the BMW logo. What's your choice? It's the left one. Can you recognize Ford? The left one is true. One more car here. What about Subaru? It was a tough one. The correct logo is on the right. Do you like fast food? The next logo is Subway. So, white and yellow or yellow and white. That's right, white and yellow. You've probably seen the Reddit logo quite a few times. The right one is correct. MasterCard. Any ideas? The right one, of course. What about the NBC logo? Do you remember the correct color sequence? Yellow, orange, and red plus purple, blue, and green. Look at these two Huawei logos. Which one is fake? Only the left one is correct. It should have 8 petals. Let's move on. Left or right? Alibaba has an orange logo. Do you remember the Firefox logo? The right one is correct. What about Dunkin' Donuts? The right one. Dunkin' is orange and Donuts is pink. Our next one is Taco Bell. This shape is wrong. The bell must be placed in an arch. What about Twix? Yeah, the right one. And what do you think about these two? In the original Skittles logo, rainbow colors go from red to purple. Can you recognize everyone's favorite Oreo cookies logo? This one, of course. Facebook, left or right? The right one is correct. What about YouTube? You probably see this logo every day. It's the first logo. Look at these two Cheetos logos. Can you spot the fake one? It's over here. The letters should have orange outlines instead of red. Now, let's make the task a little harder. Which one of these Burger King logos is original? Logo 3. What about Pizza Hut? There it is. Any ideas about KFC? Logo 4 is correct. Let's move on to Starbucks. There's only one original logo among these 4 options. Which one? The first one. What about Lipton? Logo 2 is correct. It has the right shade of yellow. And which one of these M&M's logos truly exists? Logo 2. Can you find the original Bounty logo? The third option is correct. You've probably been to IKEA at least once in your lifetime, but do you remember its logo? The fourth one. Can you recognize Colgate? Alright, it's the first logo. What about Oral-B? The second one is correct. Can you spot the original Blendamed? There it is. Enough with toothpaste. Now let's move on to Garnier. What's your choice? The third option is correct. Can you find the original Sephora logo? Logo 3 is correct. What about Maybelline? Any ideas? Here it is. Can you recognize the original NYX logo? The second one is correct. Can you find the original Visa logo? Don't peep into your wallet. Here it is. I bet you'll recognize Google even with your eyes closed. The second option. Can you find the original Apple? Here it is. What about Microsoft? Do you remember the correct color sequence? Here it is. Red, green, blue, and yellow. Nestle. There are 3 birds in the original logo. The third option is correct. Your subconscious mind probably remembers Nescafe logo in detail. Yeah, this one over here. Are you a sweet tooth? Also? Can you recognize Nesquik? Here it is. What about Milky Way? Ah, the third option is correct. Let's try Kit Kat. Any ideas? This one is correct. What about Kraft Singles? Yep, the first option is correct. Can you find the original Tropicana? The second option is correct. How about Hershey's Kisses? Option 4 is correct. Baskin-Robbins. Only the second option has the correct spelling. What about Halls? The first option is correct. Let's move on and check the Krispy Kreme Donuts logo. Any ideas? The fourth logo is correct. Lay's. What's your choice? Only the third option is correct. What about Belvita? This logo is correct. And what can you say about the Mars logo? Only the first one is correct. What about Walt Disney? Can you find the right castle? The fourth logo is original. Everybody knows the Orbit logo, right? Can you spot the original graphics? Here it is. Do you like gum? Then it won't be hard for you to find the correct Doublemint logo. The third option is correct. Any ideas about Mentos? The second logo is original. And what about Wendy's? Which portrait decorates the logo? The third lady is original. And finally, Instagram. This one is tricky because all the four logos look almost identical. This one is correct. Now let's check if you can recognize a brand even if we remove its name from the logo. Does this piece of contemporary art remind you of anything? Can you feel any magic scent? That's right, it's Jacob's. What about this one? Seven Days. Can you recognize this brand? It's DHL. Next one. Does this image remind you of something? Do you like juice? That's right, it's Del Monte. Can you recognize this one? It's Juicy Juice. This one is tough, but I believe in you. It's Boar's Head. What about this logo? Let me give you a hint. Chocolate, caramel, and pecans. That's right, it's turtles. Take a look at this yellow stuff. Any associations? Starburst. Can you recognize this logo? That's right, it's Tuck. Take a look at this image. Any ideas? It's NASA. Good job!